Wow, absolutely, absolutely amazing. Here we are. Estrela, hello and welcome.
Hi.
Are you
Thank
actually
you.
talking to us from Principe?
Well, not really. I'm in Portugal at the moment
Okay,
because
okay.
I'm a new mom. So I just left my maternity leave a week ago. So
Okay.
I'm still here, but dying to go back there.
That's okay. Right. Okay. I can understand. What a beautiful
Yes.
place. Wow, amazing. Absolutely fantastic. Thank you ever so much for joining us. And I do,
Bye.
yes, I understand you have a new young family. So please don't worry if there's interruptions. If it's absolutely fine.
Thank you for that.
We'll go with whatever. But we'd love to hear more from you and to hear your story. I'm just going to check that we've made you a co-host. Let me just do that now. Bit of technology, just in case you need to share anything. That should give
Okay.
you a co-host. And if you're happy, we're in your hands.
Okay. Thank you so much, Simon. Well, I hope I just spent 6 months on with baby talk, so I hope my English is enough now for this.
It's great.
So sorry about any mistake from my side. It is a pleasure to be here and thank you for the invitation. After this video, I normally think that I don't have much to say. You just saw it how it is, and I hope that what I'm going to share with you all, gives you a lot of willing to come and visit us on Principe, because there is no words that can explain what a special place that is. So I just share here in the chat some links so you can see the video as well, and some of other informations about my organization. But well, my name is Estrela. I'm a biologist. I had the pleasure to study in Évora with Professor João Rabassa, and where I learned everything I know today. So I'm very proud daughter of that university. And 8 years ago, I had this opportunity to go to Principe Island. And Simon, thank you very much for your drawing before. You drew actually the wrong island. You drew São Tomé, not Príncipe, but anyways, the country. So that was a good effort. Thank you for that. Um, we São Tomé and Príncipe it's a two-island country, a old Portuguese colony, and I live and work in Príncipe Island. That is a 140 square kilometers island with 8,000 people. So it's like truly the paradise. And I went there with a special, my job opportunity was to do the certification, the environmental certification of the local hotels. So nothing to do with my area. I study conservation. That was what I like to do. But it was an opportunity for me to work in Africa. So I wanted to have that opportunity, even if it was not in my main um, study area. But I fell in love by Principe, by people, by everyone. And I start getting involved with the government, with the projects going on. And 8 years later, I'm the director of a local NGO that is doing an amazing job, and I could not be prouder of everything we achieved so far. So Principe is, as you saw, island that's not made, is and it is. It is a biosphere reserve, a UNESCO biosphere reserve since 2012. And we are very lucky because the regional government, we are autonomous region, so we have the countries São Tomé and Príncipe, but Príncipe is an autonomous region, so we have our own governments. So we can have regional laws, for example, and we have some autonomy, even if we are part of the country. And we are lucky enough that the regional government was clever to use the environmental and the conservation as a flagship to protect the island. So the government decided to apply for UNESCO to be a biosphere reserve in 2012 because of Principe have by square kilometers the highest rate of endemic species in the world, more than the Galapagos, because in the Galapagos you have a lot of endemic species, but always the same family. In Principe you have endemic reptiles, endemic birds, endemic bugs, everything is endemic. We just found out, I think it was like 20 new species of trees. So it's like every rock you kick, you find a new species, because we are isolated for so long. We are the oldest island. And you've been isolated in the ocean for so long that everything is just known to be found out yet. And we are lucky enough that the government understood that, and they decided we want to protect Ireland and we want to use tourism as a tool for that. At the same time, there is this multimillionaire, Mark Shuttleworth, that is the first African tourist in the space. He's a South African man. He is the developer of Ubuntu. I don't know if you heard about it. So he's an IT guy, but he went to Principe in holidays and he fell in love for the island. Well, it's impossible not to. And he decided that he wanted to invest his fortune there. So he decided that he wanted to show the world that it's possible to have a sustainable development, that we can protect nature and have tourism as a tool to achieve that. So we decided to invest his fortune there, around 160 million, if I'm not mistaken. So when I went to the island, I went to work for him, for his tourism projects there. And Mark started as well supporting conservation work, especially the turtles conservation work, because it's things that will support the tourism as well. So when I arrived there, I start working with the Biosphere Reserve management units that is belong to the government. I start working with the government. I start working with this company, and we decide growing a lot of conservation projects. And we grow enough. We create a big partnership with Fauna and Flora International that is now our main partner. And the company, that was a private tourism company, decided to create Fundação Príncipe Trust, that was our organization, to separate what was investment from what was conservation and social work. And 1 year after they create Fundação, they also decide to close it because there was a big financial, how you say, crisis on the company. And they decided that, you know, what is not investment, it needs to close up. And we believe that we were strong enough and have enough partnerships to go in our own. So since 2017, we become independent. We strengthened our partnership with Fauna and Flora International. At that time, we had already a project with Exeter University, with a fund from Darwin Initiative. So we had projects going on, and we believed, you know, we are such in an amazing place. We have an amazing team. We can go and find funds and be in our own and being independent. We are lucky that we came from this background. So we had things established. We had a team, we had equipment, we have cars, we have things to actually do the work physically. So since 2017, I was invited to assume this position, and we start working with our partners and applying for jobs and working with the government. So the government has this Biosphere Reserve umbrella, and actually one of the links I share with you is that the government, we've been working together with all the stakeholders on the island, everyone, since these fishermen, policemen, NGOs, everyone was involved in this discussing called 2030 plan. And you can see the link. So Principe had a sustainable development plan for the autonomous region that is based on the sustainable development goals. And together, this was like 3 intensive days workshop with discussings and with UNESCO, United Nations as, how you say, they were controlling the session. That have a word that I'm forgetting now. So they were managing the sessions, and we managed to develop this plan that had everyone involved. And I think this is what is more amazing about this island and these people. When the government decided to apply for the Biosphere UNESCO, the government involved every one of the singles, 80,000 people. Everyone was involved. Everyone had to sign up. They want that. Everyone had to understand what that means. And even if they don't know what is the Biosphere Reserve, they know one thing. They know that they are one, and they're very proud of it. So I always tell this story that we were doing a cleanup in one community, and there was this gigantic spider there. And one of the local people was with, you know, like they want to kill it. And I say, no, you cannot kill it. And they say, why not? It's biosphere. So they know in their heads that everything that is a biosphere they need to protect. And they know that it's not only nature and biodiversity, it's also culture, is also what they are as a person, their individuality as Principe Island people. So, and when the government decided to do with United Nations support, the 2030 plan, they also involve everyone, and we were part of this as well. So what the projects we promote on the island is projects that are under this umbrella, this 2030 umbrella. So all the projects we implement, um, and Fundação is a local NGO that works, you know, with biodiversity, with conservation, and with communities, is always integrated on the government priorities. So we go to them, we work with them to understand what their concerns, what their priorities, and we implement projects that will make that happen. At this moment, we have, I think it's like 15 different donors. We have a terrestrial team, a marine team. Our projects, all of them involve the community. Our goal is to show people that they can make more money protecting, that they can make in destroying. So we involve the communities to understand their concerns, to make them understand the value of biodiversity. And for example, for turtles, one of our biggest projects, and for you to understand how amazing the island is, 4 years before there is a national law to protect turtles, there was a regional law on the island. So the island is 4 years in advance of the whole country, and was forbidden in the island to hunt and to consume turtle meat, and was still allowed in the country and in the other island. So this is the kind of things we managed to do with our support as the local NGO. We managed to have a regional law to protect bees. That was one of our projects as well, because people used to burn the beehives. So they go to the forest, they see a beehive, they burn it to take the bees, and they steal the honey. We had a big project with FFI funds from the Critical Ecosystem Partnership Fund. We had a project where we helped to support a local cooperative of beekeeping. We teach them how to do how to be a beekeeper. We give them training, capacity, material, equipment. The project's already ended. I share with you guys as well the ISO link for our report, annual report, so you can see a little bit about all the projects we have. So we managed to have a regional law on the island to protect the bees. So this is like the most amazing results we have from our projects, is that we managed to change the legislation. We managed to change the decision-making process that happened in the government side. In terms of the turtles, as I was saying, one of the things we did to show communities they can make more money is showing them a live turtle makes more money than a dead one. So when the tourists go to the beaches to see turtles, they pay 15 euros each one. That money goes to a community fund. We don't spend it, it's for this community fund. And during the season, we do a competition between the communities. And the communities that have best practices, they don't litter, they don't hunt turtles, if they have a turtle in the net, they will call us. So the best one, we divided the money between the 3 best communities that have a best season. We never give money in hands. We know that's never a good idea. So the community have to decide together where they want to apply that money. If they want to fix a fountain, a road, paint a school, buy fishing gear, we do whatever the community as a group decides. So we have to have a letter signed by everyone in the community. And it happened before, like one of the communities were in the run for the competition, and then we found out that one member was involved in an illegal capture of turtles, and we say, no, you are disqualified, you cannot be part of this. The whole community joined together, they signed a letter saying, you know what, this was not our fault, it's not part of our group, we don't sign below what he did. So they just move forward to make sure that everybody in the community was in the same line. So that showed they are understanding the process, and they understand that that turtle they will hunt, they will sell it, they will make money that moment, and a live one they can sell up to 5 times during the season to a tourist. And then with this, the tourism in mind, as so this company is one of our main stakeholders and partners in the island as well. So with the tourism as a tool for what we want to achieve as well. For example, we create a guides association. So we give them training in first aids and bird watching, and show them that they can use the natural park that is a protected area. Half of the island is protected area, for you to have an idea. And you can use it for tourism, and then you make money protecting it. So we work with the local association of traditional doctors. So they are very old people, so they have already struggling to go to the park. So we make them be partners of the Guides Association. The guides go to the park. When they find the plants they need, they bring to the elderly and they give them training for it. So there is this exchange between them that is amazing. And we have this pair of eyes in the park as well, controlling, because they know they need to maintain that to sell to the tourists. And all the projects we have, marine or terrestrial, we try to show. We have now a big project that is funded by the Blue Action Funds, that is to establish the first marine protected area network in the country. This is a national project. Fundação and FFI working in Principe and 2 other organizations in São Tomé, and this is a second phase of the project we had with Darwin. So Darwin and Exeter, they were the phase 1 of the project, understand the fisheries on the island. And now that we understand fisheries, we gave each one of the fishermen GPSs they took with them in the boat, so we now have maps where the areas they use and don't use, and we give them these maps, so they are very proud of seeing where they go and all that. We are with them understanding. We have focal points in each community, fishery communities. These focal points record data of what is captured. So we now know the species, the size, everything that's captured. And they can see with us working together that the fishing is disappearing. We need to do something to protect it. So let's create a network of marine protected areas. You guys, the fishermen, you are the ones deciding where and how we're going to protect it. We are not going to impose anything. So we as NGO, we are doing this, again, the word I'm missing, that is managing the discussions between government and the fishermen, and the palayers, that are the fish traders. And between them, we provide the knowledge and we provide the discussing window, the opportunity to discuss where we're going to protect, how we're going to protect, if you're going to protect by season, if you're going to protect by species, how we're going to do it, because we have a lot of threats outside the island. We have fishermen from São Tomé coming. We have these big vessels there that we don't know what they are doing. We don't know nothing about it. And we need to have the fishermen in our side being the one protecting. They need to be the agents. And in these projects as well, one of the things we did was to start a competition between, again, a competition. We call it community ideas. So the fishing communities had to present business ideas to us that were sustainable, they were not increase the fishing efforts or anything like that. And we supported, we funded 6 of the best ideas, 1 for each community. At this moment, we have a group of fishermen doing soap with coconut oil. We have a group of fishermen and fish traders that are doing handicraft with fish scales as well. We have a community shop that sells fishing gear in the more cheap prices. So we have this business starting that are going to support reducing the pressure on the fishing, on the fisheries, and then give more economic and social opportunities for the communities. And with this Blue Action Fund project, we are now increasing the business that we're going to support. The idea is to increase the number of sustainable business around the island. In terms of the terrestrial side, other example I can give you is a project that we receive an award from the Yves Rocher Foundation. It's a all-woman cooperative. 12 women came to Fundação, to us, and said, well, we want to do a business that's good for the biosphere. Can you help us with that? That was their starting conversation, and we say, of course we can. Let's have a conversation. What can we do? This group of women, they live in the buffer area of the natural park. They used to go to the natural park to capture giant land snails, and also break bricks to do construction, small bricks. So they have an impact in the natural park. We asked them what they want to do. They had the idea of doing sand with glass bottles, and we say, well, that's a good idea, let's try to work this and see how can we make this work. We start analyzing the idea. We understand that they need a lot of glass to do a small part of sand, so it was not enough to support 12 families. So we suggest them to start doing compost, because 80% of the organic waste in the island is organic, and the regional government forbidden the importation of fertilizers. So there is a market, there is agricultures, they need some compost, they need fertilizers. So they say, yeah, let's do that. Fundação find the money to give them training and capacity. They receive training for 2 years on how to do compost. Actually, one of the president of the cooperative is now in Spain at the moment for 2 months to increase the knowledge on compost. And this is something they find already in their own. So the cooperative is already on their own, you know, doing their own partnerships, finding, and that's amazing. And other part of the business was for them to do jewelry with glass. This is something I saw and learned in Ghana, and I actually have one of the necklace. I don't know if you can see it. So I say to them, well, why can you not do jewelry with glass? Glass is also, you know, we have these beer brands from Portugal that just dump all the beer there, and then they don't take the beer bottles with them. The national beer is actually the only one that's recover all the beer bottles, so all the others stay there. We can make jewelry with that. So we sent 3 ladies to Ghana. They went to learn how to do it. This is beer bottle beads. So all the bottles are smashed. They smash everything by hand until it's a dust. It goes in these wooden ovens on these molds, and then you have every single beads of this is individual, is unique, and then they paint it by hand. And it's everything very rustic. And it was funny that when we start with them for 2 years, giving the capacity, they went to Ghana and they come back trying to do the same as they saw in Ghana. So we spent 1 year trying to achieve that, and we didn't. The ladies were very frustrated about it. And we say, well, we need to do something. Let's bring the ladies from Ghana into Principe and see what's happening. Why can we not do as they do it? And we had all the ladies there teaching each other, and then they understand, for example, that while in Ghana you only have to burn or to cook the beads for 45 minutes, in Principe you need 2 hours, because it's like 90%, 99 or 100% humidity. The wood is full of humidity, the clay is full of humidity, so we don't have the thermatized clay as they have. So there is all these things. But for me, the most important part was that the designer that went there to teach them how to do jewelry, she said, look, you don't need to find or to try to do Ghana beads. You need to do Principe beads. Your beads are unique, are Principe beads. You need to be very, very proud. And she managed to do a brainwash to all the ladies, and they become so proud of their own product that now the jewelry they do with Principe beads are much more expensive than the other ones that like they use some of the purchasing one. So we have now a cooperative of ladies that are doing jewelry and doing compost, and they're selling the jewelry to the tourists, and the tourists go to the factory, they see it, how they work, and you have these unique products that, you know, is everything made by hand, adding value to a product that it was not that there is no value before. So these kind of projects we have where we involve the community, trying for them to understand the value of biodiversity and how we can make business and support the development, the social and economic development of the island, at the same time protecting the nature. This is what we do as an organization, and I think of the 17 goals we managed to click at least 11 of them we work with. So we are under this 2030 plan for the island, and we make sure that we not only are looking of the biodiversity, but we are looking at the biosphere, that is man and biosphere, that we want to show the world that's possible to have a place where there is the balance between man and biosphere. We cannot just reach there and say, this is very beautiful, let's not touch anything, you cannot eat anything else, you just need, you know, you're just going to stay here and not touch the species because they're important. No, we need to understand, first of all, there was this crazy guy that wanted to stop all the fishing in the island and have all the fishermen working as guides. That was his plan, to say this doesn't work, because they are fishermen not only as a job, is their identity, and that's something we need to respect. We just cannot change everybody's identity on the island. This is part of their culture, of their tradition, the same as turtles. I believe that on these, we are working with turtles since 2011. I believe that we change, and before that other organizations did, we changed a generation. We had kids telling on their parents that, my father eat turtle, and they have the parents being on the police and stuff because their kids tell on them, because the kids, for them, is not natural and is not acceptable to eat turtles anymore. It's not part of their culture. The generation of their parents, it is, it is part of the culture, of the tradition. It's something that's hard to change. But we did such a brainwash to all these children on the island that we managed to change their generation. So for them, it's not okay to do it. It's not acceptable. They never eat it. They don't want to eat it. They know it's wrong. So that's what we are doing. And for me, as as a conservationist, it is amazing to be able to be in a place where I can actually see a change, which in other places in the world I couldn't, in each generations to happen. There I am seeing this change, and I'm so proud. We are 91% local in my organization. I'm actually the only expat working on Fundação. I hope to be national soon. I'm waiting for my nationality. And we have international staff working with us that are staff from our partners. Normally FFI, for example, they have team members there. So we want, and I'm saying this, and this is truly my dream, is that I wake up one day and they don't need me anymore. And that happened in the cooperative. The ladies are always saying, you don't come and visit us anymore. You are not here anymore. What happened with you? And I say, no, you don't need me. I am now a client and a fan. You don't need me. You are now doing your own business and doing brilliant. And that's the brilliant thing for me. It's like my dream. And I hope, and my dream is that for happen to my organization one day. I hope to wake up one day and say, no, they don't need me. My team, they are good in their own. And I can leave, and I will always come back. I will never leave the island. It's my home, but I can leave the organization in local hands, and that is the sustainability of it, is to have the local people taking care. When in 2018 we developed our organization strategy, we had our local team part of the whole process, and actually our vision is a pristine Principe for all the Principians in the heart of the world. That's our vision. And the international staff were a little bit, the heart of the world, it sounds a little romantic. Maybe the donors will not understand. We are like, but the team was so keen. And when I ask him, do you know what pristine means? Because it's a hard word in Portuguese. They say, do you think the people on the island will understand what pristine means? And they say, well, they will not, but then they will come and ask us, and that's where the mindsetting was. We want a Principe that is unique and is pure, and it is for all the Principians. We are fighting for having the people from Principe Island that is outside in Portugal and all over the world studying, for them to come back to the island. The ones that are outside, receiving capacity to come back to the island and take care of all these projects is what we want to happen. But it's not easy, it is not easy for someone living in Portugal or in the UK and then come back to this small island we spend weeks without energy. The boats that bring the resources sometimes sink, so we are weeks without any supplies on the island. We need to hammer a nail, will take 3 months because some Principe doesn't have nails, some Tomé doesn't have nails, it can have to come from Portugal. Everything is so expensive. We don't have a health, there is no good health. There is no good education. Unfortunately, there is these things that we need to work, and the government's very keen to improve. But it is a paradise with these kind of things, and we need to make people understand that and wanting to come back to their island and do difference. And so we understand the vision that our team is to to be this place for these people. And also when they explain why they want to be in the heart of the world, is because they want to pump good ideas for all over the place, and they want also the people come and visit the island. So we left our vision like this because this is our team's vision, and this is what we are working, and I'm really proud of my team. I always like to give examples because, you know, I don't think I have words enough or enough English, not even in Portuguese, to express how proud I am of all of them. But I have Yodi is one of our terrestrial technicians. He had the 8th grades of school, and he knows every single bird song of the island. He knows how to identify every single bird. We managed to find funds for him from African Bird Club for him to go to Cape Verde, learning about marine bird tracking. He is now the most expert in the island, or actually in the country, on birds and on terrestrial conservation. And he was presenting. We had this project with the Principe thrush. Principe thrush is an endemic bird that only exists on the island, and the giant land snail that is also endemic from São Tomé and Príncipe, from both islands. And he was presenting the results in the communities, and he was saying like that, you know, he was presenting the team, and then he say, I didn't went to university, we didn't went to university, but we are like biologists, because we go to the field and we do this and this and this, and that is how they feel. And it's very hard to find, you know, my dream of the Fundação to become independent is hard to achieve. And one of the things is the English, because you have to write proposals in English, you have to contact with donors in English, partners in English. They don't have English as basic. They don't have basic English. It's very complicated. And the opportunity, until few years ago, there was not a high school degree in the island. You only have 11 years, and then you have to go to São Tomé. So the majority of people don't have money for that. So they don't even finish high school. They stay there. And our team, we only have 1 people with the degree. This is my right hand, my finance lady. But after that, nobody have it, you know. But we need to give opportunities even for these people. So on this Blue Action Fund project, we have this one of our marine guards, one of our marine supervisors, actually Lindo. He is like 40 something, and he have the 4th grades of school. So he only did primary school. He was was a fisherman, and he worked with us since 2011 as a supervisor of the marine team. In the boats, we have 2 teams, a beach guards team and the marine team. The marine team do the monitorization of the island by boats. So they see the north of the island and the south of the island to control spear fishing. And we have a team of guards that work at night in every beach of the island to control nesting of turtles. So during the season, we have around 30 people just working on the turtles. And Lind was a supervisor of the marine turtles, and we had this opportunity on the Blue Action Fund, and we say, Lindo, do you want to try to be the supervisor and the project assistant for this new project? You're gonna work in the office, you're gonna learn how to work with the computer, you're gonna work new skills, you're gonna be out of the sea. That is your passion, but you think you want that challenge. And he was very afraid, but he said, you know, I want to try. And when I received emails, Ilindo's first email, I literally cried because I was so proud. And this is someone that never touched a computer before, and he's now sending emails, and is amazing. And this is what I want to do for them, is to make for them to understand that they, you know, it's not because some international staff that have a PhD come here, they will know more than you. They will not know, because you are the one that know this island, that know the biodiversity, that know how important it is to protect. And that knowledge you cannot study any place ever. You need to know it. And what these people bring to you is knowledge and other skills and technique, and it's things we need to do projects. And they are like sponges. They like learn so much. So we are growing a lot as organization, and I'm very proud of the way achieved so far. We were working to achieve this 2030 plan for the sustainable development of the island, and I'm very proud because Príncipe is literally our president, we just changed presidents now, but our president he spoke on the United Nations conference in New York last year. He was actually invited as well to speak in a green conference in Kenya as well by UNESCO. So Príncipe, as a small nation, is being an example in the world. And that is something I would like to share with you guys, to go and search a little bit about the island, about our work, and especially to come and visit us. I know I speak a lot, and when I start speaking about the island, I never, I don't stop up. So I think I already make my point and share with you a little bit the work we've been doing. So if you have any questions, I'm here to answer you. And I hope you are a little curious to come and visit us.
Fantastic, Estrela. Thank you ever so much. Wow, amazing. Yes, we're there. We're coming.
Thank you.
No, brilliant. That's absolutely lovely. And I think it really interesting, because I think your talk expands out. There's an awful lot, I think, that people can take away from that. I think the words perhaps you were searching for was facilitator. I don't know, but facilitating.
Exactly. Thank you.
That's okay. It's a pleasure. And I think actually, you are a very strong and powerful example of a good practice in leadership. And because leadership is about enabling others to realize their potential, not keeping them down, but actually allowing them to blossom. And that seems to be very much part of what you're saying. So that, it's a very rich talk. Thank you very much, full of some lovely things.